The conversation between Yama and Nachiketa presents us with the highest promise imaginable, the realization and experience that our core essence is immortal and that death is nothing more than a great illusion.
In Kathopanishad, Dandramyamana Pariyanti Mudhaha Anthenaiva Niyamana Yathandaha. Yama says, in this world, all are ignorant. Avidya, you know the avidya. All are in avidya, the greater ignorance. Yet they behave as though they are so bright and intelligent. It is just like a blind man is asking few more fellows that he is saying that I will guide you. That he is going to guide a few more people.
We are just in our thinking process, and the thinking process is never in the present moment. The mind is always taking us somewhere. It is taking us away.
The topic of the session of the discussion is yoga, a philanthropic science that leads to the social harmony, is the topic of the discussion. However, I think whatever the topic you discuss or you present now has got a social relationship with that. Outside of our articulations, I congratulate all the participants here who have been cooperating for the success of the summit. Okay, we will begin. I request Wendy Mandris to present your thoughts.
Good afternoon. Hello. Thank you for joining. Thank you for listening to us. I believe Guru Nagaraja Rao, my teacher, since a long time, asked me what my thoughts are on yoga. So I started some 25 years ago, and before that, I knew something about yoga. And I thought it is like making bending movements or sitting on a mat with crossed legs and with your hands in a chin mudra. I didn't know that name by then. And it was all weird because I'm not from India. I'm from Netherlands, and there's nothing such thing as yoga there. It started, for me at least, when I went on a holiday to United States, actually, where I had my first class of yoga. And that was an asana class. Oh. But there was also a very good teacher, and he lighted a spark in me that I said, I want to do yoga, really. And I started coming back to Holland and found a teacher, a few teachers, and then I thought, I want more. I will go to India and find a teacher, and I found Nagaraj, amongst others. And he is teaching me that yoga is more than only asanas that I was doing in the beginning. So I was already introduced to Patanjali, and in Patanjali it starts with his instructions on yoga. And the second verse of Patanjali Yoga Sutras, as you may all know, is Yogas Chitta Vritti Nirodaha. I wonder, what does that mean? And also, how do you do that? It means stopping or bringing under control the thought waves of the Chitta. I didn't know what was Chitta. I do know what is thought waves or thinking, but how do you really stop them? And Patanjali gives the instructions in the Yoga Sutras. And he starts with saying actually that there's two different types of thoughts. They can be or helpful or unhelpful to the state of yoga, which would be when you really know who you are. Still, I have this question, how do you do that? So let's start with becoming aware of what you are thinking, or actually becoming aware that you are thinking. Because normally we go around in the day and we're just doing our things and we don't know anything about what we're actually doing because our mind is taking us away from where we are. It makes a round, it takes us to the opposite side of the street, and then it comes back. And that taking away and coming back, that is the thought wave. It is taking us constantly out of our seat where we are present, where we are here, and where we are now. So I understand now that The thought waves are taking me away from actually where the life is really happening, which is here and now. So how can I stop it? I'm still not sure. There's a few instructions that Patanjali gives. It is bringing opposite to what you're thinking. So if you're having a negative thought, bringing the opposite to your mind, and it will maybe dissolve or it will maybe annihilate the negative thought. He says, let me remember, vitarka bhadane pratipaksha bhavanam, bringing counteracting thoughts to your mind, which will help to negate the negative thoughts that we all have. And then, of course, we have still the positive thoughts. That comes in a later stage. Other thing is that we are also working our way through kleshas, which are obstacles to samadhi. Kleshas, ignorance, asmita, the egoism, attachment, non-attachment, or attachment, aversion, raga and dvesha, and abhinivesha, the fear of death, clinging to life. We need to become aware. And how do we become aware of this? Through meditation. So take time. I also take time every day to sit and observe what is happening. These kleshas, these obstacles, they create thought waves. And the thought waves and the obstacles need to be observed, analyzed, bring them into attention, pay attention to them, and then know that they are there, and then you can do something about it. As long as we are unaware, we don't do anything about it. So finally, Patanjali says, meditate. Sit down with an erect spine, with your head up, with your shoulders relaxed, with your breath calm and at ease. And please just sit there for some time. Do nothing. Don't expect anything. And just observe. And that is, in short, my thought on yoga.
Thank you. Through yoga practices, it leads to the development. First, development of the self. If the self is developed, it naturally leads to the social development also. Because if an individual is developed, if he is uplifted, naturally it leads to the entire upliftment of the society, of course. That's your meaning. Okay. Okay, thank you for the presentation.
Thank you.
Now may I request Susanna Stasperger to present her ideas on this.
I want to share thoughts inspired by the Kathopanishad.
Kathopanishad.
Yes.
Yes.
And the title will be On Life, Death and Immortality. Yoga promotes well-being on the levels of body, mind, and energy, and simultaneously enables much more. Literally, yoga means union, or in other words, the experience that everything becomes one. This is the essence of the science of yoga, and at the same time, its deepest goal. What does this unity consist of? Yoga leads us to an experience where, even if only for a brief moment, there's nothing separate anymore. Then everything is connected with everything. At birth, we emerge from unity with the creative source, with love, and become dual beings in a dual world, returning in death to the creative source, to love. From a yogic perspective, our body is a garment that envelopes our core essence for the duration of a lifetime. How long such a garment lasts depends on the material, our treatment of it, the family history and karma interwoven into it, and finally, the grace bestowed upon us. Just as every birth occurs at the right time, regardless of whether it seems medically too early, too late, or exactly on schedule, every life also ends at the right time. From a spiritual perspective, life is always completed in death. Those who accompany the dying know that at the end of life, we struggle for breath. The intervals between inhalation and exhalation grow ever longer. And eventually, after the final inhalation comes the final exhalation, a final letting go, followed by silence. What left the body in that moment that was present only moments before? What force has animated this person before their final breath? What is this life? An immortal force, one that exists even without a body, yet animates all living bodies. A force that we are and yet cannot fully grasp with the mind. This profound topic of dying and death is addressed in the Kathopanishad as a conversation between Yama, the king of death, and Nachiketa, a boy in search of absolute truth and immortality. Everything that comes must also go. Nature demonstrates through the endless cycles of coming into being and passing away that everything with a beginning, in other words, born, must also have an end, in other words, die. Only what is without a beginning endures eternally. The conversation between Yama and Nachiketa presents us with the highest promise imaginable, the realization and experience that our core essence is immortal and that death is nothing more than a great illusion we succumb to, thus causing suffering. Again and again we come and go, live from existence to learn and gain experiences. Over and over we experience separateness, leaving wholeness to live a life marked by the polarity of joy and suffering, until we finally realize that we are one with everything that exists. We are limited beings in space and time and need limited forms that we can think, understand, and perhaps revere. And yet, we are also part of the creative energy, which is the expression of the whole. Thus, we are one with the one. I, Atman, the soul, am of the same essence as Brahman, the whole. As the ultimate form of self-exploration, says the physician and consciousness researcher Stanislav Grof, born July 1st, 1931 in Prague, Czech Republic, we can encounter the creative principle itself and recognize our essential identity with it. The theme of the kata initially addresses an impermanence that is not yet absolute, symbolized by a being in a world we enter after physical death, or by a state of consciousness still in this world. In both cases, the return to the creative source is temporary. Through Nachiketa's 3 wishes, freely granted by Yama, the king of death, the decisive turning point of the kata is reached with a final wish. It is about spiritual liberation, the ultimate breaking out of the cycle of rebirth, complete self-realization, immortality, the final merging with the timeless source from which we came. temptations, desires, and passions drain our vitality or life force and limit our perception. This demonstrates that the Katha is a yoga Upanishad because in yoga, life energy and the healthy balance of all its aspects and expressions play an important role. The irretrievability of the past makes every moment infinitely precious. Transience reminds us every second of the present. Being present is one of the most important goals on the spiritual path, for we do not live in yesterday or tomorrow, but only and always now. The core message of the Upanishads, of yoga, of Buddhism, and also of Christian mysticism is that we are not the body, nor the brain, but Purusha, nameless and formless, pure consciousness, or Atman, the force that gives us life. Some also call it God. The traditions of India have 1,000 names for it. The idea of existence after death is negated by science because no one has ever returned to report on it. Yet countless people come very close to death, have near-death or out-of-body experiences, and know that they are more than just their body. Such experiences overturn everything previously believed to be real and transform or change us. Millions of people visit yoga studios around the world and strive for physical well-being. There's nothing wrong with that, as health and well-being are valuable assets. But how many are aware that yoga aims to go beyond the body through the body, beyond breath through the breath, and beyond the mind through the mind? Not many yogis and yoginis are familiar with Yama's message. It is the same message we find in Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, the Bhagavad Gita, and the Gospel of Thomas. The words and images may differ, but the central ideas and inner messages are the same. Atman is transpersonal beyond all the masks we wear and the many roles we play. Our essence transcends body, emotions, and individual mind. They are all temporary and constantly changing. Our inner light, however, was never born and will never die. Yama speaks of living in constant awareness of the fact that there's something sacred within us that is greater than anything we can ever imagine. The search for our innermost being is not about hoping for another life, whether a future paradise on earth or one in heaven, but about entering an expanded state of consciousness in this life. Our inner light always burns inextinguishably, and all beings are connected through the pure consciousness that permeates them all. No matter how far we have traveled on our path of seeking, how much effort we have made, and what understanding we have gained, the final step towards self-realization is not one we take. It may happen as though it were a gift and is called grace by some. Here and now, in this life, Atma can shine forth in complete clarity in a purified mind. Buddhi or wisdom then becomes the mirror in which God views his own face. Consciousness perceives itself as consciousness, as the immortal medium that observes everything that happens. Thus, this life on earth, not the heaven beyond, is the gateway to self-realization and the door to liberation. It is infinitely precious and provides us with numerous opportunities to grow, to learn, and above all, to experience and share love, the most important lesson of existence. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. The topic is on Kathopanishad. The Kathopanishad is from Ayurveda. It's in the form of a conversation between Nachiketa and the Yama. And as you said, the Atma, the self, the travel of the Atma from here to the merger with the Brahma, the union, the universal soul, from the individual soul to the universal soul. This is what the discussion. In Kathopanishad, there is one hymn, Dantramyamana Pariyanti Mudhaha Anthenaiva Niyamana Yathandaha. Yama says, in this world, all are ignorant. Avidya, you know the avidya. All are in avidya, the greater ignorance. Yet they behave as though they are so bright and intelligent. It is just like a blind man is asking few more fellows that he is saying that I will guide you. That he is going to guide a few more people. How do they lead? So a blind man guiding other blinds. So the mundane aspects is like that. That's a description in Kathopanishad. However, Wendy, you have spoken of Chitta Vrittis. I think, how do you feel the Chitta Vrittis can be controlled through the yoga practices? Can that be controlled through the yoga asana system? Of course, you said asana itself is not the complete picture of yoga. It is a wider, it is much broader than that meaning. Can we control the Chitta Vrittis through asanas or any other measure? Do we need any more other practices than asana to control the Chitta Vritti?
Yeah, we do need, I think we do need all the practices of yoga.
Yes.
There is, Patanjali gives 8 steps or 8 limbs, 8 angas of yoga, yamas, niyamas, that we have heard them all through these 2
in all
days
the other
already.
sessions, yes.
All these. If we apply throughout our day yoga in our daily life, not only on the mat, but also off the mat, we need this to stop our thought waves. But it starts with becoming aware that what we are doing, we're not here to just live the life and enjoy. We are here to live the life and enjoy, but there's more. And we need to become aware of what is it that we can do to really live the life. Otherwise, we are just in our thinking process, and the thinking process is never in the present moment. The mind is always taking us somewhere. It is taking us away. It can be to my home country. It can be to the next place I'm visiting when I'm in India. But actually I'm here right now, and when I'm here and right now and present, there's no place for thoughts. So I can do that also on the mat with yogasana. When I'm on a yoga mat, I'm stopping actually everything, but I move my body. I try not to be somewhere else, but with my attention on the body and the breath. I move until I'm in a position, a fixed position, purna sthiti, and then I stop everything. At least I try to stop everything, and I'm just there observing what is there. What do I feel? I try to feel into my body, maybe surrounding the body on the mat. Now, if I can do this on the mat, it reflects my life off the mat. Because the yogasanas is actually what we're doing on the mat, we bring into our daily lives. We bring, of course, a healthy body, a flexible body, a strong body, yes. But we will also bring calmness of mind, that we have reached through asana. And I think if you have ever done asana, after feeling of asana is always you feel serene and calm and pleasant. So if you can bring that sereneness, that calmness into your daily life, and then perhaps sit for meditation, maybe easier to sit for meditation, already because you have practiced your body, and sitting for meditation is not so easy if your body is not prepared. So we do prepare for us for meditation or any other practices through asana.
Sure, nice. Yes. If the usually even due to the practices of yoga asanas, the person will be quite cool and calm. If an individual is cool and calm, such individuals makes the society. They make the society, and the society is also cool and calm. That's a good narration. Emmanuel, do you have any opinion on practicing of yoga that could bring the social harmony with us?
Yes, maybe the thing I can do is to share my own experience.
Okay.
In my country, and like as a lot of country in Europe.
You are from France, is it?
Yes, I'm from France.
Yes.
Most of the people don't have a spiritual life, and they run all over the day. And as those people, I was running for my job. I was a really busy working woman. I ran to take care of my family, to cook, to do all I have to do. And I hurt very hardly my body and my mind. And I met a Vaidya who helped me to recover health. And since I met this Vaidya, yoga was too slow for me,
Okay.
because we run all the day.
Okay.
And I didn't know at all Ayurveda. So, modern medicine couldn't help me, definitely. And so I have treatment by this Vaidya. He helped me to recover. I could walk again, because during 2 months I couldn't walk. And my experience is that with yoga and Ayurveda, I understand a lot of things. I was able to manage my anger, my mind. I could stay with myself quietly in silence, and my health was really better. And actually, you talk about socialization. Maybe by what I lived, I can share that with another manager, with another worker. And in my work, actually, twice a week, I guide some meditation session.
Right.
And maybe it's by my own experience and by sharing all with the others. As we have a discussion, maybe I can help one people to become wise.
Wise and right. Yes, yes. So nice.
I learned Ayurveda 5 years ago,
Yes.
Ashwini, and I learned with Vaidya from Ashwini College in Tumkur.
Right.
And last year I came 2 weeks for learn more and practice. And I'm a humble practitioner. I'm not Vaidya at all, and I only have a few knowledge about Ayurveda. But in my family, around me, I can help people and to have good health without chemicals, without bad treatment. And
Okay, thank you, thank you. Dr. Dakshinamurthy sir, it is so glad that Wendy has spoken on Chitta Vritti, and Susanna has spoken on the Kathopanishad, a rare topic which have not touched yet. And Emmanuel, her experiences with Ayurveda and yoga is so enlightening for us. Anyway, we should thank them all for giving their opinion in support of yoga, which brings a greater social harmony for all of us. We thank you on behalf of this summit. Thank you.